Simplify what's gone wrong. Did something go wrong? Hey!
The automobile has always been the subject of man's dreams and fantasies. It has become a symbol of power, independence and freedom. The evocative picture of an elegant sports car winding its way through pristine landscape, accompanied by the roar of a straight 12, is the source of an undying fascination and interest in anything on four wheels, as long as it is fast and looks good. For the enthusiast, style and finish are as important as new technical developments. A sports car of superior design must, even when stationary, give the impression of great speed and power. Underneath its gleaming facade, a combination of technical innovation and raw power must be in evidence. Many of these attributes are also required in the luxury sedan, although refined elegance and comfort takes precedence. The Jaguar sports cars and sedans have over the years found a special place in the enthusiast's heart, fulfilling all the requirements of a thoroughbred car in its class. Devoted collectors of classic Jaguars, vintage and new, all over the world bear testament to this.
Hey, my son, have you forgotten your shades? I to try to simplify what's gone wrong. Did something go wrong? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Welcome to my greenhouse. Say hello to my greenhouse. Used to be our fun house. It's become our greenhouse. My greenhouse. Say hello to my greenhouse. Used to be.
The spectacular site of Holmenkollen, a few miles outside Oslo, the capital of Norway, is the unlikely venue of a unique event in the history of the Jaguar motorcar. Gathered at the base of the famous ski jump are participants of the first ever Jaguar North Cape Rally. Jaguar enthusiasts from as far away as Australia and Saudi Arabia have come here with their cars to drive the 1,300 odd miles from Oslo to the North Cape, 500 miles north of the Arctic Circle. For the organisers, this is the culmination of 2 years' hard work. Everything looks good so far, but there are an awful lot of cabriolets among the cars, and the further north you get, the less stable the weather gets. At this point, however, there is nothing left to do but pray.
Kai og Morten, gutta som er ansvarlig for Nordkapp-rally 92, og spørsmålet må jo da bli hva er det som får to kompiser til å sette i gang et så svært apparat. Dere inviterer folk fra hele verden til å komme med Jaguarene sine for å kjøre bil. Er det galskap, eller er det mangel på mavesår dette her?
Det må vel være en kombinasjon av begge deler, tenker jeg, egentlig. Pluss en lidenskapelig interesse for disse bilene som du ser rundt deg i dag.
Kjører dere Jaguarer oppover selv også, eller?
Ja, det gjør vi. En sånn som står rett bak der. Vi har hver vår, så vi skal være med hele veien og kjøre åpent så lenge vi kan over.
Hvor mange av bilene tror dere vil komme fram helt opp til Nordkapp?
Ja, målet er jo at alle skal komme fram, så vi har jo med teknisk assistanse og serviceteam underveis, så vi skal gjøre det vi kan gjøre for å få alle biler opp til Nordkapp.
Det kan vel hende at vi får noen som kjemper hardt om vikingtrofeet. Vi har faktisk lagd et trofé for den som viser størst innsats for å komme til Nordkapp. Og det er nok sikkert noen som kommer til å slite litt, men vi håper jo som sagt at alle kommer fram da.
In the evening, the participants get their first chance to meet over dinner at the Holmenkollen Park Hotel. The subject of conversation was, predictably, cars, cars, and even more cars. And they're off on the first stage. It's called a North Cape Rally, but for most of the competitors it's also a unique chance to enjoy a holiday on wheels with 200 like-minded car enthusiasts.
Klar for starten?
Ja.
Ja vel, har dere skrudd og fikset alt på bilen, så nå går den?
Vi får se.
Ja.
Vi får se.
Ja vel, hva blir den tøffeste delen av turen da?
Jeg vet inte ännu om det kommer snö.
Blir over fjellpassasjene
Ja, det
kanskje?
blir säkert.
Lykke til!
Vi har lite drag här.
Må kjøre pent da!
Ska vi göra? Tack. Hej.
Today's stage runs from Holmenkollen to Lillehammer, 120 miles north of Oslo, and site of the 1994 Winter Olympics.
Maybe can change your plans. I want you to know that I know something that maybe can change your plans. I want you to know I made a love song just for you. I made a love song for me too. I made a love song just for you. I made a love song for me too. And I will sing this song for you if you want me to. And I will sing this song for you if you're feeling blue.
The first regularity run takes place at Linge. Some of the competitors use the opportunity for last-minute adjustments. A regularity run is a competition where the participants have to drive a given distance in a specific time. Only the organisers know the exact time, however. The drivers are only told the average speed they have to drive at in order to reach the checkpoint on time. This may sound easy, but in ordinary traffic with many stops and starts, it can be extremely difficult to maintain the correct average speed.
Maybe can change. Maybe can change. Maybe can change. I made a love song just for you. I made a love song for me too. I made a love song just for you. I made a love song for me too. I made a love song just for you. I made a love song from me to you. I made a love song just for you.
Yes.
Are any of you drivers or are you co-drivers, all of you?
All co-drivers.
All co-drivers. But you are going to drive, you're not just going to sit there and read the map.
We have to. Our husbands are so stupid. They can't do anything like that.
So how...
We are the intelligent part of it.
Okay, okay. So how are the cars running? You had a little bit of a problem when we got here.
A little bit.
Yesterday.
Quite a lot.
Quite a lot.
On your baseball glove meant so much more to you than your father's run for gold. Makes a difference. And I want you to know that I hide and I cry by your side. Wonder why and why.
As the competitors pass Mjøsa, the largest freshwater lake in Norway, one can already begin to pick out the serious contenders from the ones purely enjoying the ride. The weather is still on the side of the driver, and the driving is not exactly taxing.
Was the reason to your leave? Now you were digging too deep, with only silence to receive. This joy of toy that we never tried to hide. Now it's a commonly idea we're conditioned by our
Some of the drivers are already experiencing technical difficulties, but for most of them, the day has been plain sailing.
So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Eating after yesterday's stage, how will today's stage go? It's a lot longer.
I'm looking forward to it. Great fun, you know, yes.
This was a wrong turn.
I know.
Good start.
Good start.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
As the second stage begins, the weather looks like it's going to hold out. Today's stage will take the drivers from Lillehammer to Røros, and then onto a small town called Hell. As they are getting further from towns and people, petrol stations are getting scarcer, and the drivers are recommended to top up at the next Statoil station.
But the thrill is gone. People are watching if I'm feeling alright now. People are wondering how I can live without. There's no need to, 'cause the thrill is gone. Come to take me home.
Today's regularity run takes place at Lunde, 75 kilometers from Lillehammer. After a brief stop, the cars are back on the open road again.
You know I've always been afraid of the dark. Now listen.
How does the car cope with the mountains?
It's very good. I think it was almost designed for it.
Okay, so it's not overheating or anything?
No, we're prepared for a little bit of overheating by fitting an electric fan.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're among the top 5 from yesterday.
Are we?
Yes.
Oh, good. That's good.
You didn't know that?
No, we didn't see the board this morning.
What's your strategy for today?
Careful driving.
Careful driving.
Careful driving.
Watch the clock.
What's the
Right. Yes.
Best of luck.
Okay.
Lovely. Right.
Bye-bye.
You only listen to the music around. Well, I want to. But the thrill
This is the first
gone.
encounter with Norwegian nature. The roads are more challenging and the drivers get a chance to test their cars. Many of these Jaguars were built for this kind of driving, and it is a pleasure to let the engines rev freely and feel the tires work the bends.
You know I've always been afraid of the dark. Now listen, come on brother, won't you be mine and start? Oh, I'm lost and found. Oh, I'm lost and found. I'm lost and found.
As this stage is longer than the previous days, the cars become more spread out. But everyone meets up, however, near the old mines at Røros to enjoy a well-earned lunch in the sun.
You found it in a scrapyard.
We found it in a scrapyard after about 22 years there. And we recovered that about 11 months ago and built it especially for this event.
And it didn't look like anything like this when you found it.
No, it was far from that.
You have a book here with all the pictures.
That's right.
How many hours of work have you
Well,
put into
we
this?
estimate, myself, my navigator, and a couple of friends were helping us, approximately 2,000 hours and over. So you're looking at least 2,000 hours labor in that car.
Hvordan den oppover på fjellet? Det vel kanskje ikke akkurat den type trafikk han lagd for?
Du, altså, tenk på at bilen veldig lang I panseret, men så har den tyngden med motoren veldig langt tilbaketrukket. Og forstillingen jo egentlig en racerbilkonstruksjon på E-Typen, så den utrolig fin I svingene.
Back on the road, destination Hell. As the cars descend the mountain, the road surface changes from tarmac to gravel. It is a tough drive and some of the drivers experience technical problems and require assistance to continue. One driver has to have a spare car sent from Oslo overnight so that he can continue the race. Jaguar service is going to have to live up to its name here. The average car is 20 years old, so it is no wonder that they break down once in a while. Advice from fellow drivers is never far away. And if one has to wait for the service team to arrive, a snowball fight in hell helps to pass the time.
the sky. Where I know it's love.
By the time everybody finally reaches the Rika Hell Hotel, some of the participants can see a certain irony in enjoying a well-earned drink. Day 4. It's a beautiful morning as the drivers prepare for the run to Mo i Rana.
I'll drag you away. I can feel the beat of the western streets. All this hateful wind is coming to this land. But I'll say you stay with me for the winter time. I read my lips and my mind. I right now love goes free.
Today's stage is longer than yesterday's, and the roads are not as good. The regularity run should prove to be a real challenge. The previous day's results show that Mr. Steger from Holland in his XK 120 is one of the favourites. Mr. Haynes from England in his XK 150 is also among the leaders.
Ja, Knut Halland, da har vi tilbakelagt den tredje av dagsetappene. Da går det fremdeles like bra, eller? Du står her med olje, betyr det at det begynner å slite på maskineriet?
Nei, det har gått som en drøm.
Ja.
Det har gått med et par liter olje i dag,
Ja.
men det har vært en fantastisk tur. Jeg har aldri opplevd maken.
Nei.
Fantastiske veier over fjell, og kunne utnytte veibanen og solskinn og lite trafikk.
Ja.
Tyskerne bemerket at det var kjempelite trafikk, og de er ikke vant til det. Så det var vel en opplevelse. Kjøre med fjell med sne på hver side og elv i midten og nydelig vei som slynger seg nedover. Og så med E-typen som du kan dra litt pent gjennom svingene. Det var en opplevelse.
In the evening, everybody gathers at Røsvoll Racing Circuit. As a part of the overall competition, the drivers have to complete this special slalom. Erik Rødser in his E-type maneuvers effortlessly through the cones.
I'll drag you away. I can feel the beats.
The race is against the clock, and not everyone finds the task quite as easy. But then again, a limo doesn't have the road-holding capabilities of an E-type.
But I say you stay with me for the winter time. Read my lips and my mind. I lie now, but love goes free. Love goes free.
While some of the participants enjoy the entertainment, others get a chance at stock car racing. The cars may lack the style and glamour of the Jaguars, but they are a lot of fun.
Now you can feel. I want you to take my hand. Please say you can.
Tell me, this was your first time driving like this?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't?
No.
You do this as a profession?
No. I've done this about 6 or 7 years ago. I had a bad accident, so I stopped doing the races.
But it was fun being out here again?
It was fun. I never thought about driving once more such a machine.
You did a very good job.
Thank you very much.
Is this sort of like taking a little edge of driving the Jaguar? You don't have to step on it that much tomorrow?
Probably. I don't have to. But also, Jaguar driving is fun.
Today the journey goes from Mo i Rana through some spectacular landscape to Narvik. The Norwegian coastline is broken up by countless fjords which penetrate deep into the countryside. They were formed some 10,000 years ago when the Ice Age came to an end and vast amounts of ice slid into the sea, cutting deep grooves in the rock beneath.
Maybe too helpless, maybe not in vain. I get busy being driving them insane. It's me and my changing history.
The Arctic Circle. Although there are no igloos or sub-zero blizzards as the name conjures up, one can't help but feel humbled by the vast, seemingly untamable wilderness. There is a museum, however, where one can buy souvenirs and meet the local wildlife. Before leaving, everyone receives his own Arctic Circle certificate and gets a chance to take a few snapshots.
Have you ever been this far north?
No.
We're on the polar circle right now.
No, I just went up to the Hardangervidda as the farthest point north I ever went. But this is absolute stunning.
The drivers continue their journey. Results are posted en route, and then it is time for another regularity run.
Vi ligger rimelig godt til, vil jeg si. Rimelig godt.
Ja. Og det skal bli bedre, da?
Det blir det. Vi kommer sterkt på slutningen. Det har vi regnet med.
To travel along the coast often necessitates crossing fjords by ferry. There is always some waiting, but in the sunshine there is no reason to rush, and an ice cream always hits the spot. In Narvik, there is a surprise reception. Local enthusiasts have gathered along the road to greet the participants. It must be the first time any of them have seen such a parade of collectors' cars.
We're members of the JDC, and we first saw about this rally in October 2 years ago.
Yeah.
There's just a little snippet of news.
And a little advert.
And I read the magazine from back to front, and when I got to that I said, "Hey Murray, look at this." He said, "Send for it straight away." I put the magazine down and
faxed through, and we were on the list 2 years ago.
I sent to Morton and Kai immediately.
And you haven't regretted it ever since?
No. We can't wait to get to
now.
Yeah. Every valley we go over, we see more mountains, and we just think, and we're running out of film.
How many rolls of film have you
I've
used
gone
so
through
far?
6 so far. 6 exposure, and I thought 4 would do the whole trip. I think I'm going to use about 12.
The good weather continues to grace the drivers as they head out on the 6th day. The goal today is Tromsø, known as the Paris of the North. In addition to the regularity runs, the teams have to answer a variety of questions related to the trip. One of today's questions seems to be especially troublesome.
How do you pronounce the O with a slash through it?
Yeah.
So that's Sørfjord Moon.
Yes, almost. Sørfjord Moon.
Fine, Sørfjord Moon.
Yep. That's very good, very
so
good.
it's not Sjøfjord Moon?
No.
It's Sørfjord Moon.
Yep.
Fine. Excellent. Well, that's...
why did you circle this?
Because we were lulled into a false sense of security. We thought that was the answer, and then looking at it a little bit closer, the question is, according to the map, Norway is a very long country and narrow. Where is the narrowest place? In fact, we think the narrowest place is way north, up on the Russian border. We were thrown by the Swedish border down here, so we were looking at the distance between the Swedish border and the sea. No, we thought we'd found it there.
Og så nå ringer du, nå skal ha hjelp?
Nei, jeg skal bare ringe hjem og høre hvordan han står til. Si at du har det fælt.
Det går vi ikke på, altså.
Although the weather is good, it can get extremely windy at these altitudes, something which Mr. Urban from France experienced firsthand. Crossing the Salt Mountain in his unique Mark 7, a gust caught his car and blew the hood right off. With help from the Jaguar technical team and a little creative do-it-yourself, Mr. Urban was soon back in the race.
I just don't want it to fade away. When you fall in love, don't whisper my name. Whisper my name. I just can't go any further. Now when you fall in love, it won't be the same. Won't be the same. I just wanna be.
You're driving one of the most special cars in this rally. Tell us a little bit about its history.
Its history. This is a car that was built in 52 by Barrault, bodybuilder in France, near Lyon. And a special bite for this camera can take for this race. Liège, Rome, Liège. And he finished second place.
They say that this is the only one of its kind.
It's only in the world, yeah. And this car was ordered by Mr. Peño, who was Jaguar concessionaire. And he was driver, and he wanted a special car. And he orders this the motor, C-type, at Mr. Lyon, the boss of Jaguar, Sir Lyon. And after he made an aluminium body for this race. And
it still runs good.
Very good, very good, very good, very good. Very fast.
Very fast. How fast? You don't have a speedometer in it.
I have no. I think 240 speed maximum.
Not in Norway, though.
In Norway, it's difficult.
When you fall in love, don't whisper my name. Whisper my name. I just can't go any further. When you fall in love, it won't be the same. Won't be the same. I just don't want it to fade away. When you fall in love, don't whisper my name. Whisper my name. I just can't go any further. When you fall in love, it won't be the same. Won't be the same.
Before the day is over, the drivers have to go through a precision parking test. The point is to stop the car with equal distance between the car and markers on each side. The results are measured down to the millimeter, and points are scored for accuracy.
That went to the other side. Only I ran away.
Afterwards, it is a short run to dinner and rest at the Scandic Hotel in Tromsø.
To the other side of town. One day I ran away. Gave my secrets back.
Having covered more than 1,500 kilometers over the last few days, the teams will spend the day in Tromsø, known as the Gateway to the North. Tromsø is situated 500 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle. The public gets a chance to take a close look at the cars which have been groomed overnight at a local Statoil station. Both young and old marvel at the sight of these classic Jaguar cars, displayed in all their shining glory.
When you fall in love, it won't be the same. Won't be the same. I just wanna be your friend.
For the participants of the rally, several activities are planned for the day. A fishing trip on one of the many fjords surrounding Tromsø turns out to be more of a sightseeing cruise, and those gathered get a chance to relax and chat about the journey so far. Today's stage runs from Tromsø to Alta, a 400-kilometer drive through the barren landscape of the north. The weather has turned from summer to winter overnight, not unusual in this part of the country.
The rain is falling, the winter disappeared. Snow is hiding out of nowhere. I took to try to simplify what's gone wrong. Did something go wrong? Hey! Sun is glowing, it's 25 degrees, but it's only April.
As they pull in for today's regularity run, only the real diehards and those with no choice are still driving with the top down.
Well, it's very nice. This is fresh air. Only fresh air. You're not freezing? No, not yet. Do you know what place you have on the result list yet? I think we are 40th. 40th. So you're gonna better this now. Yes. Velutstyrt for god og kald norsk vinter.
Ja, du, nå begynte det å bli litt kjølig på nakken her, så vi måtte kle på oss litt varmere da.
Du skal ikke brette ned klaffene da?
Ikke riktig enda, så tøft har det ikke blitt. Det blir nok verre.
The competition for points is getting hotter in the closing stages of the race. It is still Mr. Steger from Holland in his XK120 who leads, but nothing has been decided yet.
Skin is itching, the flower's gonna fade. Hey, my son, have you forgotten your shades? I took to try to simplify what's gone wrong. Did something go wrong? Well, I don't know. I don't know. Welcome to my greenhouse. Say hello to my greenhouse.
At Gildertun there is a short break for lunch and a chance to take in the breathtaking view below. Some of the participants pay a visit to a Lapp community. The Lapps are a nomadic people and live in teepees much like the North American Indian. They wear colourful costumes and they make their livelihood from reindeer. The drivers are invited inside for a warming cup of coffee before they once again brave the elements outside.
Won't you come to my greenhouse?
A quick refuel at Buford Statoil and then it's back on the road again.
I want you come to my greenhouse.
This far north, there is not much traffic on the roads, and it is possible to keep fairly good speed. The only thing one has to look out for are reindeer crossing. In Alta, the local people once again gather to admire the cars. Never have they seen anything quite like this in the neighborhood.
Dive into the sea of love.
For dinner, there is a barbecue on the shore of the Alta River, known for its excellent salmon fishing. Unfortunately, it is not fishing season at the moment, and therefore not possible to try one's luck. Fresh salmon has been provided, however, and a mouth-watering feast is served. After dinner, everyone gets an opportunity to go for a picturesque boat trip up the river. The drivers are preparing for the final stage to the North Cape. Mr. Johannesson from Norway is experiencing some difficulties getting his XK120 started, but succeeds at last with a little help from some friends.
Navigator, are you sure where you're going so that you're going to make it all the way up?
Well, we have just to go north. There's one way, so we'll find it.
Did you hear, though, that it's the wind is so hard that we might not even get the cars up?
No, I hadn't.
Because that would be bad. You're coming all the way from Australia.
Yes, it would be most disappointing. Because that's what I'm sending back to everybody. It's a postcard of the car at the North Cape.
But first there is a little matter which has to be settled. The plank test. It requires the driver to travel forwards and backwards, keeping the wheels firmly on the planks. This is by no means as easy as it sounds. The rally leaders are so close that it might all come down to this.
Starting to scream. Let the day begin.
Det er den mest fullasta Jaguaren av alle, det som drar oppover til Nordkapp.
Ja, jeg har tatt med hele familien. Synes det var koselig å kunne kombinere Jaguar-entusiasme med familieliv.
Ja vel, og entusiasmen er like stor hos alle her inne, eller? Få høre. Stemning. Ja! How do you do on the result list?
Well, there we're not too well, as we take the rally not too serious. Well, I mean, from the how to say, from the rank point of view. We like driving, we like the scenery around here, even the weather today.
Okay.
But
so you stop and take pictures instead of being too serious with the time.
That's right. That's correct.
You're having fun.
Yes, we have.
I want to be my guy. You knew it came through to your side. Oh, let the day begin. Let the day begin. Let it begin. Let the day begin. You know what I mean. Let it begin now. Let the day begin. I'm soaked right to the skin. Let the day begin. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let the day begin. I can't take it anymore now. Let the day begin. Please let it go. Let the day begin. Yeah, 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 yeah. Let the day begin. Oh, let it begin.
The leader is Mr. Steger from Holland in an XK 120, with Mr. Dalton from England in a Mark II close behind.
She was 12, I was 10. Oh yes, it's a long time ago. When you fall in love, don't whisper my name. Whisper my name. I just can't go any further. When you fall in love, it won't be the same. Won't be the same. I just don't want it to fade away. When you fall in love, don't whisper my name. Whisper my name. I just can't go any further. When you fall in love, it won't be the same. Won't be the same.
You were second this morning, and you did better on the plank test, or whatever we should call it, than the leader today. So it's basically all up to the regularity run. How do you think you did there?
We finished the regularity, we got through it, but until the results come, I don't know. It felt good, but we'll have to wait and see. But Herr Steiger seems to get them right all the time, so we'll have to see what happens.
You'll beat him, though.
We'll see. And there's the questions too.
Are they hard?
If you don't come from Norway, they're pretty difficult. But luckily the Norwegians are helping us.
As the cars drive off the ferry in Honningsvåg, they are met by a brass band and local people have turned up to take a look. For the final stage of the journey, a police escort is provided.
When you come, never try to be the one that steals my pride. And when you come, don't ask why. You just want to have me by your side. And when you come, you touch the sky, where I know it's love.
When the drivers reach the North Cape Plateau, there is a sense of relief mixed with excitement, although not everyone appreciates the weather.
All the way from Australia, and the furthest north that you ever been, I suppose.
Yes, I think it is the furthest north I will ever go.
So, you don't want to do this again?
Oh, I think it was a fantastic once-in-a-lifetime experience. Next time I'm going to come back in summer.
This is summer. All the way from Corsica to the North Cape, that's a long way.
It's a very long way indeed, very long but beautiful way.
Now you got your little certificate saying that you have been on the North Cape.
This was a great experience, and I must say it's not only the North Cape point which is very interesting, of course it is, but it's all the way we went to land, we went across, were beautiful. Norway is really a very marvelous country.
Hadde du drømt om at så mange biler skulle klare å komme opp?
Ja, vi har jo håpet det hele tida.
Ja, håpet, ja, men hadde du trodd det?
Nei. Ikke at alle skulle klare det. Det hadde vi nok regnet med at det ville bli litt frafall, og det er kjempegøy at det ikke har blitt det.
Før dere spretter champagne, så er jeg helt sikker på at dere skal gå litt mer rundt om. Jeg så du gikk rundt blant noen av de som har parkert bilene sine her allerede. Hva var reaksjonen der? Jeg bare hørte noe sånn wow!
Ja, folk er liksom helt overstemte, og det er klart at dette har jo folk alle sammen sett frem mot, og folk er rimelig på topp nå, altså.
Ja. Det så stygt ut tidligere på dagen i dag, for det har vært stengt deler av dagen.
Ja, det var litt krise det faktisk, altså, for i går så var jeg nødt til å stenge hele platået her ute, og det blåste steiner gjennom luften og var visst rimelig friskt. Nå har det jo løyet litt, men det er jo friskt fremdeles, men det gikk jo bra, og det er det viktigste.
After dinner, it is time for the winner to be announced.
And by flags marching, the winner is the team of car number 9, Mrs. and Mr. Dalton. Can I just say a few words? Firstly, I'd like to thank my wife Jackie for being my navigator. She did a super job. But also I'd like to thank Morten and Kai on behalf of everybody, but especially all the UK entrants. You promised us a trip of a lifetime, and it certainly was. Thank you very much indeed.
The chief organisers, Morten and Kai, savour the moment as the sun sets over the North Cape. After 2 years of hard work, they have realised their dream of bringing an international collection of classic Jaguar cars to the North Cape.
But I know something that maybe can change your plans. I want you to know that I know something that maybe can change your plans. I want you to know. You say you don't know where I've been. Days go by without me being seen. I've been busy playing my guitar. It carries me away so far now. But I know something that maybe can change your plans. I want you to know that I know something that maybe can change your plans.
We'd like to thank everybody who made the 1992 North Cape Rally possible and welcome you all back in 1994.